I want to do one other segment. I can't believe we're on day 2 of this, talking about the Bad Bunny MAGA meltdown, because there's now a member of Congress wanting to investigate the gay pornography that took place at the halftime show, which I watched the halftime show. And I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I would have noticed. If there was gay pornography. Anyway, so we're going to get to that claim. We're going to get to all the weird elements of this, including Megyn Kelly being furious that global superstar Bad Bunny sang in Spanish, you get it.
Politically in the end. His Grammys speech was, but his performance, I thought, was actually a lot of things which I would have thought people on the conservative right would applaud. It was about love. A couple actually got married, for real, in the middle of it. He was preaching about unity, not just the United States of America, but the wider Americas. What was the problem, Megyn?
A certain male gesture is coming to mind, but I'm not sure I can do it on this show. No, it wasn't about what he was actually going to do during the middle of the Super Bowl performance. It's about him. It's about him being chosen as the Super Bowl performer, somebody who's been an outspoken critic, of course, of the Trump administration and of America and our anti-immigrant policies. This is long before the current controversy over ICE. He doesn't want illegals deported from this country. Well, too bad, because the majority of Americans do want that and are not shy about pushing for it. And that's why President Trump got elected. So he and his little buddies over at Green Day never miss a chance to bash the United States of America. He got selected because...
So she's about to do this little bit where she says something strange. But before I play that, you can't keep doing this, MAGA. I'm sorry. This thing where you conflate criticizing the state of things or the government with hating the country. You can't do it, especially not whenever the guy you elected described us during his 2024 campaign as a country in serious decline, a third world nation. Don Jr. described us as like a shithole country. And whenever it was politically advantageous, you described in the worst terms possible America. You can't conflate criticism of the state of the country with hating the country. It just doesn't work anymore. We're all sick of it. We're sick of it. So that's number one, and that's what she's doing with Bad Bunny. Let's keep listening, though. Just the quickest pause to request that you click the subscribe button, the simplest, easiest, freest way, completely free, to support the work that we do. Right below the video, click that subscribe button. Back to the video.
Jay-Z, for some reason, has got the choice over who performs at our Super Bowl, who's another problem. Don't even get me started on his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Why is he choosing who's appropriate for American children to watch during our seminal sporting event? And I'm sorry, Piers, but to get up there and perform the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have...
It's not really. Hey, the whole broadcast was in English. Hey, all the post-game interviews were in English. Hey, Charlie Puth's national anthem was in English. Hey, Lady Gaga's performance during the halftime show was in English. Hey, all the halftime shows before that were in English. It was like a themed halftime show. You had a moment of exhibiting a different language as a part of an artistic performance. It's not like they said, this year, the commentators will only speak in Spanish at an American sports game. And then the majority of the viewers won't know what's being said. That's not what happened. It's a music show, Megyn.
Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million Spanish speakers in the United States? We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer, and we...
Megyn, this is every normal person who has work to do and a life and kids to take care of. What? Hush. You're being so... What? How do you summon? There's no way she feels this for real. How do you summon this much irritation? It's like Trump takes away millions of people's health care, and she's like, oh, sorry, I don't have time to talk about that. But then Bad Bunny speaks in Spanish, and she's just like, ah! This is a middle finger to Americans. Not really. And kind of as Piers was saying, credit to him, there were so many beautiful themes in it. Even if you didn't understand the lyrics, it wasn't even the most interesting halftime show to me. The other ones I've seen, I was more riveted by. But there was nothing offensive. Even if I was putting on my MAGA lens of like trying to see what they would be offended by, it was just like, hey. Even Ben Shapiro, who does a lot of those cultural critiques, like, there's some horrors in this house. There's some horrors in this house. Wet ass P word. These are disgusting lyrics from the artist Cardi B. Even he was kind of like, oh, it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible.
Overall, honestly, like, great production value. I understand. This halftime show is not aimed at me. I listen to classical music, and there was the usual plethora of butts on the screen, which again has become common to all halftime shows, unfortunately.
And then he goes on to say, but there were a lot of positive themes, but he keeps coming back to how many butts on screen there were.
Here and there. I already mentioned the Where's Waldo of human butts that happened. Apparently some of those butts were famous butts, but there's a Where's Waldo of human butts. There was also, of course...
I listen to classical music. Stop. For a second. Stop. What do you want at this halftime show? That could actually be a pretty epic start. So, but anyways, the right kept saying this. I missed how many butts there were. I saw one part, there was like a whole shake, but that was like the thing in the 1980s that conservatives would get upset about. Stop shaking your butt. Or like before that, Elvis, he's gyrating his hips too much. There weren't even like, we're all adults here. Let's just analyze for a second. There wasn't even like the skin of a butt hanging out. There were the skin of the buttocks was covered, but then it was just shaking. Is that bad to y'all? That's like so just fun. That's like a human. You got a little extra blubs back there. You shake it. That's what you're supposed to do with it. Where do you think the phrase "shake what your mama gave to you" came from? You gotta let your mama give it to you and you're not gonna shake it? Okay, that's a middle finger. That would be a middle finger to Americans, is if you didn't shake it. But it wasn't even like a weirdly sexual halftime show at all. It had a really positive theme and a marriage and all that. And Bad Bunny had a very clothed outfit, to much people's disappointment. Had a lot of clothes on. Not me. And it wasn't even a feminine outfit. They were nervous he was going to wear like a feminine outfit to be countercultural. Didn't. So I missed that. But apparently Representative Andy Ogles, a Republican, thought that he saw pure smut. Sexual things. Andy Ogles did not enjoy Bad Bunny's halftime show, denouncing it as pure smut and calling for a congressional investigation. Y'all are such weirdos. And accusing of depicting gay pornography. When? Where? No, I'm serious. Where? Can you send me the link? No, not really. To be clear, the halftime show did not include any pornography, straight, gay, or otherwise. True. This is not a matter of a reasonable factual dispute. The performance was watched live on television by millions of people, and it's posted in its entirety on the NFL's YouTube channel. There was no porn. You can watch it. But Andy Ogles said last night's halftime show was a disgrace and it mocked American families. It made another family. It made a marriage. A real legal marriage happened in the middle of the show. Depicting gay pornography on primetime has no place in our culture. Where was the gay pornography? The Bad Bunny performance is conclusive proof that Puerto Rico should not be a state. Well, that's random, Andy. So lots of wild responses. Gay pornography. There was a whole ass heterosexual wedding. What are you even saying? I saw a lot of right wingers who were being less crazy, but said I liked it because there wasn't any gay stuff. Like some of them were complimenting. They're like, dude, they did a wedding and it wasn't even between two dudes. That's awesome. the right wingers who were happy about it. Then he goes on to say the Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show was pure smut, brazenly aired on national television for every American family to witness. Children were forced to endure explicit displays of gay sexual acts, women gyrating provocatively, and Bad Bunny shamelessly grabbing his crotch while dry humping the air. All right. Okay. He barely grabbed his crotch. He put his hand over his crotch. Maybe he pinched it briefly. There was no like grabbing. And did you say this after Michael Jackson's halftime show? Because I can tell you there was almost certainly crotch grabbing going on. That was his whole thing. Not his whole thing. Oh my gosh, sorry. Not. No, I mean like he would dance with his hand there. And then he said, and if that weren't outrageous enough, the performance's lyrics openly glorified sodomy. I thought you said you couldn't understand the lyrics. And countless other unspeakable depravities. Okay, Andy. You horny. Hey, Andy, come here. You horny. Calm down.
There's something wrong with him.
There is. What was the soundbite that you two were giggling about? I want to hear. That one? Oh, that's funny. Okay. Let down. So these flagrant, no, that's good. These flagrant indecent, just every time it starts, I think it's about to start a song. So then I get misled, but it's okay. These flagrant indecent acts are illegal to be displayed on public airwaves. If it wasn't copyrighted, I would play for all of you the halftime show to disprove what he's saying. Okay. Hey. All right, cool. And then he said, this is why I'm requesting the Energy and Commerce Committee launch a formal congressional inquiry into the NFL and NBC immediately. You're so pent up. If you in 2026, given some of what has gone on stages, like, guys, sometimes there have been performances, music performances, that I'm like, that did go a little crazy. Like, there was a little bit too much activity of a sexual nature, just for if it's like public to everybody. This was not one of those. And for you in 2026 to be upset that people with normal shorts on just like shook their butt, you're out of your mind. And then I don't know what you're talking about, glorifying sodomy, and then you call it an unspeakable depravity. Brother. Take a seat, brother. You haven't seen unspeakable depravities. You don't know the first thing about unspeakable depravities. One thing that we made fun of a lot yesterday was this country music performer who performed at the alternative TPUSA halftime show. Because he did the, I'm gonna fish, I'm gonna drive a truck, I'm gonna drink beer, and all that stuff. And I missed what happened later in his song.
My dogs wear my boots.
He did more. You're not creative. Sorry. If all you can think of for a country song is I fish, I hunt, I eat a steak, I drink beer, I shoot a gun, I wear boots, and I walk a dog. Think of some other theme, please.
Not turn the TV on, sit and watch the evening news. Be told if I tell my own daughter that little boys ain't little.
So now we actually, the part I didn't play for you is apparently did get to more creative territory, just some wacky creativity, which was him bitching, for lack of a better term, about feeling alienated for being a country boy, which I love you. Hey, love you. But I don't believe that's happening very much. I think you're doing a little bit too much self-victimhood. about if you tell your boy they can't become a girl, that like you're gonna be societally persecuted. Now, you could be accused of being anti-trans, right? But then he says living a country life isn't allowed in this country anymore. It's like, have you ever seen a campaign ad before, sir? You'll have the most city candidate ever, the person who's never worked on a farm, dress up in overalls and go walk around with farmers and be like, I'm representing these people. I'm for farmers. Even if you know they don't know anything about farmers. If they don't know what I know about farmers, which is a lot, by the way. There's so much pandering to country folk. And I want y'all to be represented too. But there's a lot of pandering to the more rural voters for sure.
If I tell my own daughter that little boys ain't little girls, I'll be up the creek in hot water. This cancer yours world. It ain't easy being country in this country nowadays. The directions the fingers point when everything goes up in flames. Saying I'm some right-wing devil, 'cause I was down south Jesus raised. It ain't easy being country in this country nowadays.
Sorry, I don't know. You get. Let me just once again, what percentage of Americans are Christian? Around 2/3 of Americans are Christian. You really think that you're being that hated for being Christian? I don't think so. Maybe some random tweet you saw. But I feel like everyone right now is feeling hated and thinking they're the only ones feeling hated. Just so you know, dude, it feels like you really hate us. So I'm country raised. One second. You think I don't know a thing or two about country, sir? Think again. Have you ever gripped the teat of a cow? That's what I thought. Have you ever been kicked by a horse or thought you were going to be kicked by a horse, which is my real story? Think again. Shoo-wee. Have you ever had to listen to so much country music that you can't even look at a horse anymore? Have you ever listened to so much country music that when you're driving down the road and someone goes, oh my God, look, there's a cow. You want to die? You want to swerve the car off the road? Because it's not that cool to see a cow, it's just a cow. We have people in this audience, in this work staff room, who have ranches. Ranches. And they slaughter their own meat, maybe, right? Yeah. You think I don't know anything about it to go about country? I don't think you're even very country, sir. I think you just don't know what's going on with the drag queens. Shoo-wee, brother. So anyways, we love to everyone. Sorry that you feel you can't be country anymore. You can. And despite
I love cows.
There it is. And Trump brought that back.